What's good, YouTube? It's the Casual Gamer here, back again with another video. Today we're talking all NBA 2K25, you guys. I'm gonna let you know right now this isn't gonna be a short video, so save this one to when you have some time that you need to kill at work, driving, or whatever, because I'm getting into everything. Game's been out a while now. I've saved my official review because I wanted to soak in everything. Really is because I needed, before I judge a game, I need to see how it is. Like, I made it to a 98 overall. I have all my badges. So now I could really talk about where things are. A lot of people jump out the window and start to trash the game or give their opinions on the game before they even seen themselves at their max potential with their player. So I wanted to wait for that. So yeah, we're about to get into everything, you guys. The first thing that we are going to get into in this video is a new addition to NBA 2K25, something that they've never had before in their game, and that is skill-based matchmaking. Man, those 4 words just continue to haunt me, man. The irony of it being in 2K is like I don't even play Call of Duty anymore really because of their skill-based matchmaking, but theirs is deeper than skill-based matchmaking. But yeah, let me stay on subject here. But yes, skill-based matchmaking is now in NBA 2K25, and it's a problem, you guys. Now, before you jump in the comments and talk about it's a skill issue, you just don't want to play people your level, blah, 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 please just shut up and listen. I've been dealing with, I've been having conversations about skill-based matchmaking for about 2 to 3 years now. So just listen to me first. Let me tell you why it's a problem, because it has nothing to do with me personally. It's a problem inside the game itself. This is why you wait to make videos, because honestly, when 2K first added skill-based matchmaking into the theater mode, I really wasn't mad at it. I was like, okay, I guess, like, it didn't really bother me. But now it's coming out, they start to notice all the top ranked players, all the top ranked rep players, you notice that they all have a high rating and a low rating. People are exploiting it, and actually, people aren't even exploiting it. This is the only way that they can still get games. For example, 299 red badges, they're not going to be able to find a game. It's very unlikely that they're going to be able to find a game. They're not going to be able to hop on and just play like you should be able to in a casual public mode, because the game is trying to matchmake them with people who are on their level. But the thing is, once you get that high, the less players there is inside that bracket. So now you have these people in this bracket just waiting for games. So what do they have to do? They have to find another way to play. So now they have their buddy make another build who's also a legend rating, but they make him make a build who's like a 60 or 65. Now they're able to find games. And this has been proven, you guys. You'll see in this video right here. It goes 90, 60. Now it's a pattern here because everybody's doing the same thing just so they can find games. It's not even for them to exploit the game and get easier games. This is just literally what they have to do to play the game. And this is where I always and will always with any game have a problem with skill-based matchmaking inside public modes. Public modes, casual modes, regardless of how good you are, you deserve to get on the game and just be able to play the game. I really disagree with this because they added this system the same year that they added their ranked mode. Man, bro, that's really where I had a problem with skill-based matchmaking being added. It wasn't the fact that I didn't want to play people my skill level. It's the fact you guys decided to add this skill-based matchmaking the same year that you guys add your proving grounds, your ranked mode. That doesn't make any sense. Like, people have been mad at franchises like Call of Duty for doing that for years, and you guys just took a step backwards, 2K. Like, I always try to understand them thinking about the players who aren't that good. Shit, I'm not that good, bro. Like, I'm just a casual gamer. I don't play every day. I'm not out here top ranked and all of that stuff, but like, I don't just want to play against people my level. I want to see what the best competition is. I want a chance to get a game versus a top 10 player in the world just so I could see what I have to be if I wanted to chase that goal. I want to see where the competition is. I want to see where the skill gap is. And I hate when games take that factor out of their game nowadays with this new skill-based matchmaking stuff trying to cater to the weak kids. You have to let people get better at the game, man. I say the same thing to Call of Duty. Now I have to say it to 2K. My the two only franchises that I grew up on, they both took this same path. I hate to see that 2K took this path, but 2K, you guys, I mean, if you guys are going to have the skill-based matchmaking, I'm sure they already know by now it has to work differently, because especially if your top-ranked players aren't able to get games, To me, that just says take it out and just make it a casual public mode like it used to be. If people have to get ran by some good players every now and then it is what it is. Like the top players, like it's only going to be so much top players anyway, so your chances of running into those players is very slim. And when you do run into those players, you should use it as an experience to see what you need to do to get better at your game. Now theater mode just feels like another ranked mode, man. The same issue I have with Call of Duty. Sometimes the public matches are harder than the ranked mode. Sometimes theater mode can be more tough than Proving Grounds, especially if you're playing as a squad. Like the only thing that's easy in theater mode really is that no squad threes. That's the most casual. That's the only mode that feels casual to me right now. But like if you gonna go into theater mode, you're gonna play one of them modes, them 3-on-3s or 2-on-2s. You better be ready, have your squad ready, because you are gonna be playing against squads. It feels like ranked, because you're only playing against people who are on your level. And that's not really the problem. Like I said, you guys, do not use my words against me. Do not try to say that you just don't want to play people your level. The problem is it creates a predictable and sweaty casual gaming experience. And that's just not what you want, you guys. Let's make this clear. Theater is a casual mode. Just because it's not in the park, it is still a casual mode. You're supposed to be able to get on there and find games fast. Now, the higher level you go, the slower the matchmaking is gonna get. That's gonna be the reality if they keep this matchmaking the same. The higher the level you go, the slower the matchmaking is gonna be. Now it's really not feeling like a casual mode, because you guys are searching for players who are on my level when I should just be able to hop on the game and play. That's what casual gaming is for. That's what it's always been for. That's why you have your ranked mode, to separate those two things. And what gets me about it is their Proving Grounds matchmaking is terrible. It's like they were supposed to have strict matchmaking in that, but I'm gonna get to that later. Let me finish talking about just the skill-based matchmaking and casual first, because man, they messed up Proving Grounds bad too. I just don't see skill-based matchmaking working out for 2K. Definitely just not in a casual basketball game, man. It just doesn't work out. And I just don't think 2K is advanced thinking enough to even just add this in. As you can see, their system's already having to be exploited by force. It's not even because people want to. Like I said, people are having to do this just to get games, because 2K probably wasn't ready to just add something like this. They probably saw other franchises benefiting off it and just thought, hey, I think we could do this too. Cater to the weak players, make them buy more stuff. I don't think that's working for 2K. I mean, if you want to protect players who aren't that good, then just keep all the black plates in one place. I don't know, let them all play each other and figure out the game. At some point, they have to play bronze plates though, just so they could get better. Like, you can't just only play your skill level, because you're not going to get better. It's simple as that. It just stops people progressing at the game, actually. It makes people think that they're good at the game, and then they get ranked up to the next division and they're getting smacked around. It should be a variety, man. You should be able to get on, play somebody your level, feel like you're the one. Then the next game, play somebody who's better than you, get smacked around. Okay, learn from that. Now play somebody who might be a little better than you, play it close, or even beat them. Like, this is how you get better at games. And the fact that 2K joined the skill-based matchmaking side, the dark side, and added this, and didn't even think to add it strategically, because it's just, I could already tell it's a lot of stuff that they didn't factor in before adding this skill-based matchmaking. Like, come on now, man. I hate to see it. I hope they fix it. I think at this point they have to fix it, now that you're getting people who are high levels having trouble even being able to play the game. Like, man, bro, and even me, bro, I'm like a silver plate right now. Like, that's the thing too. It's gonna create a lot of people just jumping back and forth between ranks, not being able to quite cut it. Like, they get promoted to gold and then they go right back down to silver, then they go back to gold. It just creates that type of dynamic. That's just what skill-based matchmaking ends up doing. But man, if I'm a bronze plate, bro, I want to be able to play a legendary play, because what if I beat him? Now that's content that I could post. It takes away from content. It takes away from everything, bro. And it's also not fair to the player who doesn't always have a squad. That's who is gonna affect the most. That's who's gonna be going down and up the most. The player who is good at the game but they don't always have a squad online. Most of the time now, they're going to be playing against sweaty squads, because the reality is you're going to have to play with a full 3-man squad if you really want to level up without having to exploit the game in any way or play with a weaker rating. If you just want to straight up, and even then, bro, it's still going to be tough. It's going to just feel like you're playing ranked, so you might as well go play Proving Grounds. And I guess I'm going to use that as a transition to talk about our next thing, because, yeah, I could go on about skill-based matchmaking all day, you guys. It's kind of what I do. Go to my channel, yeah. The problems with skill-based matchmaking, should I say. But yes, let's talk proving grounds. There is a lot of problems inside proving grounds. Man, if you guys weren't so focused about adding a skill-based matchmaking in your casual mode, maybe proving grounds matchmaking will make more sense and be more on point, but it's very sloppy for a ranked mode. Another thing that I was worried about for 2K, man, they've never tried to add a ranked mode like this, and they're just lacking basic knowledge of what's supposed to be inside ranked modes and how they're supposed to work. Like, why am I as a 6'3" point guard playing against anybody over the height of 6'6"? Why am I playing a 6'8" post scorer, a 7-foot post scorer if I am a 6'3" point guard in a ranked mode? This is supposed to be a competitive mode, and you would think that this is basic knowledge. Like, how does, like, you literally had one-on-one in your game inside casual for so long, and you've seen that that's a problem in general. Even in your casual mode, you guys have to separate one-on-one by height. If it takes longer to find games, it takes longer to find games, but it's no point in going out there and losing freaking 21-0 to a 99 7-foot post scorer because I'm a 6'3" guard and I just can't do anything about that. This is why I say 2K just isn't prepared, because they didn't look at that being a problem over all these years and they just let it pass in their ranked mode. It's so simple. At least in the ranked mode, you guys have to separate one-on-one by height. And honestly, you have to separate 2-on-2 by height also. And you want to think about these things before you just go in and drop the ranked mode. I said in a video previous to this that they should have had a preseason first just to see how everything plays out. Now it's too late. People have already made their, people are just going into 2-on-2. It's just going to be one big and one guard pretty much. But it's a ranked mode. You should be able to go into 2-on-2 with 2 guards and play against 2 other guards. It doesn't have to be guards. Like I said, this should really all just factor by height. You either have to do it like that, you either have to have a system like that, or you have to just have a matchmaking system to where if I'm a 6'3" guard and I'm going into proving ground solo to try to play 2-on-2, you have to give me a teammate based off what I'm playing against. So if I'm playing against 2 people who are squatted up together and one of them is a 6-foot guard and one of them is a 7-foot big man, then you have to give me a big man to match that. That's how you make a rank mode fair. Literally had it happen last night. I tried to just play a 2-on-2 solo because I was so close to ranking up to the next division, and I just had to get off the game because it was me, I'm 6'3", and then it was a 6-foot guard. They put us on the same team, and we're playing against a regular guard, and then his teammate is like 6'9", and it's like, okay, what are we doing here, man? This is supposed to be a ranked mode. Stuff like this isn't supposed to happen in your ranked mode. Everybody has to be on kind of like an even playing field when it comes to rank. That's the point. That's what makes it ranked. Definitely shouldn't be happening one-on-one, man. That's the one that's just inexcusable. Like, come on, dude. Like, one-on-one, strictly base it off of height. That's it. That's how you make it simple. And then you can even do the rankings by the height. Best players 6'4" and under. Best players 6'9" and under, 6'8" and under. Like, do it like that. That's the best way to do it, so everything is fair, because now you're just gonna have a whole bunch of people in the top rank with the same build, and it's like we're not really figuring out who the best is here. Like, we're not figuring out who's the best at anything. At least if you separate it by height, we could figure out who's the best in the height range. And then if a player has like a 6'3" guard, they get like a top rank as a 6'3" guard, say they're like top 10. And then they make another build and they could do the same thing. They could grind the same thing as a top 10 big man. Then that shows us, oh man, he's overall just good at the game. But like, this isn't telling us who's better at anything, especially not in one-on-one, and especially not in 2-on-2 either. 3-on-3, I guess, is not as much of a problem, but it still is. I think you should be able to go into 3-on-3 with 3 guards and be able to not have to, at least, like, you could go into 3-on-3 with 3 guards. You might play against some 6'7", 6'8" players, but you should not be playing against anyone taller than that if you are in 3-on-3 as 3 guards who are under the height of 6'4". 6'4" and under should not be playing against anybody taller than people 6'8", 6'9". That's what I feel like the cap limit should be, because it just creates a disadvantage. And I just think 2K doesn't think about, like, everybody does not have a squad to play with, man. And I'm trying to think about those people, because I usually do have a squad. So usually we could cover every position. You feel me? I'm gonna always have a big man with me. My big men are always gonna have a point guard with them. They're gonna have me. Everybody doesn't have that, and I know you guys added the squad finder, but no one's using it. That's the reality. I don't know. I guess it's just on them. You guys have to tighten up your matchmaking if you want to have a ranked mode that's taken serious. My problem is that they advertise it as like a very strict skill-based matchmaking, but it's really not. I'm telling you, Proving Grounds feels more like public sometimes than theater mode. That's just where they are right now, and they have to fix that, or else nobody's going to take Proving Grounds serious. Another big problem that they have, which is really the biggest problem to me because it's inside your longest game mode, but I've had it happen to me. I had to make a video about it early on because as soon as it happened to me, I was like, no, you can't have this in your ranked mode. You guys could go watch that video. I'll leave it in the description. Game crashing after 5-on-5 games. Not only is the game crashing, but if you win that game, you are not getting credit. It happened to me. I think it's happened about 2 times now. I think it happened to me once, but it's happened to people I've played with. That happening once was enough for me. You're not about to have me play a 35 to 40 minute game when in the back of my mind, I have to be worried about the game crashing after this and me not getting credited for anything. And the fact that it doesn't even always happen to everybody inside the game that it happened to me, it happened to my whole team. So none of my team got any credit for a win. But sometimes it'll happen like I'll be fine after a game, but somebody else on my team will crash. Now I just got credit for something he didn't get credit for, but we're all playing together. And it's like, what if we're all trying to level up together and come on 2K, you guys see the problem with that. Not have a ranked on your game if you're going to have these type of problems. This is why you do a preseason to figure all these bugs out. You don't just launch straight up right away. 2K just raw dog the rank mode. They just put it out like it was all good, no testing at all. You guys have to see how it plays first. See all of these, catch all of these crashes. See how 1-on-1 plays. See how 2-on-2 plays. Make sure that your game isn't crashing at the end of games. All of that stuff. That's what a preseason is for. So by the time you drop your official first season of ranked, all of that is out the way. You know, another problem that I have is another thing you're not supposed to have in ranked modes, AIs. I should not be seeing AI in ranked mode unless somebody quits in the middle of the game. Unless somebody quits in the middle of the game, that's the only time an AI should be inside of ranked mode. And you know what else you're supposed to do inside of ranked mode? The team who has an AI, the team who had somebody quit the game, they should not lose anything if they lose the game. Now the team that wins, they still get their credited victory. They still get their points for their win. But if somebody leaves a team, especially in a mode like 2-on-2 or 3-on-3, even 5-on-5 in a ranked mode, if one person leaves, the team that lost the player should not be punished. Only punish the player who left. You don't punish the people that stayed in the game and have to play with the AI now, because AI can be exploited. I know that they try to make them better, but at the end of the day, it's not a person. So AI can be exploited, and you're essentially playing with the disadvantage now if you have an AI on your team. Now, I do think that there is something like, if somebody leaves after a certain, like if you're down 15-0 and somebody leaves, okay, yes, then the team who lost the player should still be credited the loss. There has to be a point marked somewhere to where it doesn't count anymore. And the player who leaves needs to be punished very severely. Like it has to be an actual punishment. Like I don't know if it's a time frame they can't play anymore. Something. It can't just be a warning. You have to punish players for leaving ranked games, or else they're just going to keep leaving ranked games, or else they'll find a way to exploit it too, where one person leaves but the other team stays and they don't lose, blah, blah, blah. You know how people could boost that. Like a lot of these things, hey man, I don't work for 2K, so I don't have to think about these things, but I know that these are things that they have to think about if they want to have a ranked mode that's taken seriously. It's crazy because I was actually supposed to talk about this part second, but really what I was saying initially by bringing up the AI player, I'm seeing games are starting with AIs, and games just shouldn't start. Ranked games shouldn't start unless the lobby is full. You can't start a ranked game with the AI. Like, come on now, that's just basics, man. You can't have bots inside a ranked mode. Come on, 2K. But yeah, I guess my last problem with Proving Grounds and 2K's first attempt at a ranked mode is their ranking system sucks. I can't really get a gauge on how it actually works right now. It just seems very win to loss based, but ranked mode rankings are supposed to be more than win to loss, or else you're just turning it into pro-am. Like it shouldn't just be based off wins and losses. It has, like, if somebody loses a game but they carry their team, they have 15 points and 5 assists, they should not lose anywhere near as much points as the player who went 0 for 5. And it seems like everybody is losing and gaining the same amount regardless of how good or bad you play, and I don't like that. That's not a good place to be. And it might not be losing the exact same amount every time, but I do feel like there needs to be a more drastic difference between players who are playing good, how much they lose. Even if they lose the game, they still should be losing way less. And players who play really good inside a win should be gaining way more than players who are kind of just getting carried to a win, if you know what I mean. You have to factor all of these things in. It shouldn't just be win to loss based. And yeah, I feel like I've touched everything when it comes to proving grounds, man. Next thing we're gonna talk about, hey man, pause this video, take a stretch because this one might last for a little bit. The next segment is gonna be shooting. I think I gotta smoke before I talk about this one. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, you guys. NBA 2K25 shooting. The hot topic, the hot discussion. Nobody can figure it out. Even 2K. If 2K Labs can barely even figure out what's going on, then you know it's a problem. Is there a green window? Is the green window just moving shot to shot? First shot different than the second shot different than the third? Is there just random misses on greens even when you shoot a perfect release, or are you just randomly missing? You guys, honest answer, I don't know. I've been playing every day since this game dropped, and I can say that every day feels different. I don't know what is going on with the shooting right now. I know that I waited to talk about this because I wanted to get all my badges first and max out my 3. I now have a 96-3 in all my badges, and I still don't know. But to me personally, it is feeling like we are just randomly missing on greens. At some point, you're going to miss a perfect release. That's what it feels like to me. Because I am taking into account, since the news dropped, like the green window just might be moving from shot to shot. Your first shot might not be the same as your third shot. The way that you shoot it, it just might not be the same. But even with that, once you get past shot 3, I can make 3 in a row. But I'm probably going to miss that 4th one. If I make the 4th one, I'm definitely going to miss the 5th one. And I thought that you could combat this by using the stick, using the mixture of rhythm shooting and everything. The problem is, if the green window is moving and you have random misses on greens, once you miss a shot that you're supposed to make, if you time your shot perfectly and you're making your players miss, now they think that something is wrong. I actually made a comment about this on Badge Plug's video. I'm going to just read that. Making people miss perfectly timed shots randomly is a mess because now they think they aren't doing something right. Now they miss their second shot because they think they had the timing wrong on their first shot. Next thing you know, you're 0 for 4 just trying to figure out your timing that you actually had right in the first place, but 2K has a random miss on greens this year. Imagine playing a golf video game where you time your swing perfect, but you could still do a bad hit. That wouldn't make any sense. The same applies for basketball and shooting. There has to be another way to make shooting more difficult than what they are doing right now. And honestly, you guys, this goes for whether it's random misses on greens or if they're moving the green window. Like, either one, this kind of applies for, because if you're moving the green window based off shot, then I don't know. You guys have to give a breakdown about how you guys are doing it. You guys just can't do it because I don't know, because sometimes my first shot feels like cash. Sometimes it doesn't, but then by the second and third shot, it feels fine. And it literally feels different every game. And I don't know if that's on purpose, but if it is, you have to give us a breakdown. Honestly, 2K Labs should not have to be figuring all this out for you guys. If you guys are going to add this new feature into the game to try to make shooting more difficult, at least give us somewhat of a guide to how it works, so we're not just out here doing trial and error. If you want to make shooting more difficult, you can't just do it by making people randomly miss and just trying to play it off, trying to get everybody to a realistic percentage. Like, no, because technically that's not realistic, bro. Like, if I get 5 open shots in a row, if I'm timing my shot perfectly, you cannot reward the defense for that, because now you're starting to even see it. Somebody hit 2 shots in a row, and a lot of people would just sag off on that 3rd or 4th shot because they already know 2K is about to give them a miss at some point. And that's just not right. That also makes for a predictable playing experience, at least for people to exploit the game, for people to not have to play defense. Better yet, 2K, to combat shooting, if you feel like shooting was overpowered last year, just make defense actually better. But that's the next topic. We're going to talk about these steals, and I've talked about it on a previous video before. 2K, if you want to make defense better, it's going to take more than just making steals overpowered. Actually make defense better. But don't reward people for not playing defense with a random miss because you guys are changing the shot timing, or you guys are just throwing random misses out on greens. Like, that's not the move. And I don't want to come off as one of the people just complaining who just wants the game to be easier, or I just want shooting to be easier like last year. No, it's not that. Like I said, there's other ways to make shooting more difficult. but I need consistency. There has to be consistency, man. You should never punish a player in an online game for doing something perfectly, for timing their shot perfectly. That makes no sense at all. And if that's not the problem, and the problem actually is your timing is just changing, then you have to explain to your players what is the difference on shot to shot, what is affecting, what is everything that's affecting our timing, whether it's our feet, whether it's how we catch it, because it's impossible, man. It's basketball. It's so much small movements in basketball. For you to expect your players to be able to just learn everything that's affecting our shot in our green window, that's insanity. 2K Labs can't even go do that. That's way too in depth. You guys have to let us know. That's on you guys. Your game is only out for 1 year. At the end of the day, you can't have people spending half the year trying to figure out how your shooting works. That's just not a good look. And if things stay the same as they are right now, that's the type of year it's going to be. People are going to be 6 months into this game still trying to figure out how this shooting works. Now, they are most likely going to do a patch because 2K usually gets bullied by their own community to fix these things early on. But I kind of have a problem with that because with the patch, they're probably just going to make shooting easier like it was on NBA 2K24, and I don't think that's the answer. I just think that we need some in-depth breakdown of how your shooting works this year so we at least know what we're doing when we go out there on the court. Another reason I don't want them to just make shooting easier because they're probably just going to make it easier with the button when people who are actually taking the time to learn rhythm shooting, they still deserve to have an advantage. And that's where I really feel like the problem is. I feel like they want people with rhythm shooting to feel like they have an advantage, so you have to make people with the button miss more. I kind of feel like that's where 2K's logic is. That's why in my previous video when I talked about shooting, I said the best thing you could do on this game right now is just mix it up. Start off shooting with X, second shot, try to shoot with the stick, third shot, go back to X. And when I say the stick, you can use the regular stick too. Like I'm at a point where I mix it all up. I might use all three in one game, and I've noticed it lets me make 4 or 5 shots in a row. But then again, even while doing that, even while shooting with the button, shooting with the stick, shooting with rhythm shooting every now and then, I'm still feeling my timing change at some point, and I can't gauge which shot or what triggers the change. And that's my problem, man. It very much starts to feel like me being punished for doing the right thing, man. Punished for being good at the game, because shooting is a skill. At the end of the day, it is a skill. That's kind of my problem with Call of Duty. You play good in Call of Duty, it's like you get punished for it. 2K, don't turn into Call of Duty on me, man. Y'all was my last hope. Don't want things to start feeling scripted, man, especially not in a basketball game, because it shows even more. It's easy to hide it inside a shooter game. People just might not even notice what's going on, the manipulation going on with their matchmaking inside of a shooter game. In a basketball game, it's too evident, man. Like I said, people are already doing it. You hit 3 shots in a row, you hit 2 shots in a row. All right, I'm about to sag off you. Let's see if 2K lets you make this 4th one. That's terrible. That's not a good place to be, 2K. That is literally punishing people for doing the right thing and rewarding people for not doing the right thing. You're rewarding somebody for not playing defense because they know that the game is going to give them a miss at some point, and that's called exploitation, and it's just not a good place to be. I'm kind of disappointed at 2K about a lot of this stuff, man. Man, I don't know if I have anything else about shooting. I mean, besides, again, I really don't know what's going on, but I'm trying not to overreact because I know that they're going to patch it, and within the patch, they'll probably explain how it works after the patch. So, yeah, something that they just should have initially did in the first place, so at least we know we're not just going into the game having to figure out a whole new system by ourselves, because the game's only out for a year, bro. Like, how much do you want us to figure out, really? My problem is with a patch, too, is you just had people playing and ranking up, playing the game like this right now, and now you're about to do a patch that probably just makes things easier, and now, you know, all the people who worked hard to get here and figured out or tried their best to figure out how your shooting works and were able to grind through it and still level up through it, now everybody just kind of gets to bypass that struggle and just end up on the same level. So yeah, this is why you test things out first, or this is why you explain stuff first, just so this type of stuff doesn't end up happening. Alright, the next thing I'm going to talk about, and I'm just going to make this short because we all know it's a problem, steals. What is going on with steals? Why are people turning into Randy Moss out of these animations? I don't know. 2K. Make your defense better. I've said this in another video before, but a lot of people may have not seen that video. 2K, just make your actual defense better. You don't make your defense better by making it easier to get steals and just having people now just create a build with a high steal rating because they see what they could do. They see how they can exploit the game. No, just actually make your on-ball defense better. Because now you have people running around here with 5 steals. See, I think I played against a team in Proving Grounds. One of their players had 5 steals. One of them had 6. For a game that's trying to be so realistic with their shooting, that's not realistic at all. You don't see that happen in the NBA. You don't see that happen anywhere. You don't see people go out there and get 5 or 6 steals. If they do, then that's very rare. Steals and blocks you don't just come across those. Like, those just aren't regular things that happen. You want to actually make your defense better, which will also actually make shooting more difficult. Then fix your on-ball defense, make it more fair. Because really what I feel like the problem is the offense overpowers the defense for 2K. So they do stuff like they make steals stronger just to like try to add some balance instead of actually making the on-ball defense better. You have to at some point have an evolution with defense. I feel like the offense in 2K is evolving faster than 2K's defense. Now you got everybody running around here with high steal ratings when you got to just gonna patch it on the next patch. Now people just made all these builds, wasted all their money for no reason. You know, as I'm talking about a lot of this stuff in this video, 2K makes people waste a lot of money, and I think maybe they're just doing all of this on purpose. Everything kind of points to that, but I'm trying to not think about it. But we all know that's like the reality. Honestly, all of this, like messing up the game at first, this benefits them. Now when they do a patch and people see how things are after patch 2, you better believe a lot of people are going to go make a new build based off the new patch. Think about all the people who already made new builds, bro. Like, people made new builds when they figured out that they couldn't make 3s with an 80 anymore, when that's not even really the problem. Probably just haven't got your badges yet, or you just haven't figured out the new shooting system that nobody explained. Now people out here making 90 plus 3s, but then next patch makes shooting easier. Now you're not even going to need that high of a 3. Oh, now I could go make a new build and not have that much on my 3, put it towards something else, and it's like, man, that is some sinister stuff. I don't know, man. I guess it just got dark. I'm sorry. I just made it get dark, but like the reality of it is 2K is making money off of all of this. Watching all of us scramble trying to figure out the game. They just sit there counting up money. Guess this is just where video games are going now. It's sad to see. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about everything that I'm saying. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree. Let me know how you feel about NBA 2K25 so far. The game's been out for a while. I feel like I had one more segment to get to, but I'll save it for another video. I've been talking for a long time. You guys, it's the Casual Gamer, and I'm up out of here.